Warning: this episode contains discussion of various phobias that some may find disturbing. Stories told may act as triggers. Continue on your own discretion. You have been warned.
What up, guys? Welcome to the Ready podcast. So, I'm Diane, and I'm going to be hosting this one. Actually, we have Elia here and Rob, as almost usual. And today, the topic I chose specifically is phobias. I've been wanting to do this. Not that I'm super knowledgeable, but I'm just really interested in talking about these things. So what's a phobia, Rob? I'm just kidding.
You're the evil teacher in class. You
Wow.
put people on the spot. I can see that already.
Wow,
All
this
right.
is karma for what I've done to all my students. No.
You're not like this.
Yeah. Not like this. A phobia is a fear of something. It's the scientific word for fear.
Sorry. Syrup. Okay. Yes. So I also did a bit of research before today
That's good.
to find out like what exactly is the difference between a fear and a phobia. So I mean they're similar, of course, but fear can be like more of a threat. You're scared because something is threatening, something like that. And then a phobia, it's like an intense feeling of fear when you're actually not in danger.
So you could
Can
say
I-
like an irrational fear.
Irrational fear. Yes. How did you know?
You know, sometimes I know words and sometimes I
Wow.
don't. Got lucky today.
What?
I know.
That's so nice.
Rob
crazy.
is so smart, you guys. Oh my god.
Thanks, guys. Wow. Wow. Sarcasm.
Yeah.
is
So, I saved some, not just one, but a few dictionary meanings, descriptions, just so I can, sound smarter. I'm just kidding.
Dictionary?
Legitimate definitions.
Okay.
Instead of just me saying fear, it's a fear,
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So what I found was phobia. A phobia is a response to something that is not a threat. This is why phobias are sometimes called irrational fears. The response is so intense that it may interfere with your ability to function or perform daily tasks. Yeah, think about that. A phobia is an excessive fear or anxiety related to specific objects or situations that are out of proportion to the actual danger they present. And
Okay.
they can cause significant dysfunction or discomfort due to avoidance behavior and the anxiety reaction that occurs when exposed to the phobic object or situation. And just like listening to myself say this, I feel it. My phobia is coming, and I hate that feeling because it's real.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You have a phobia of explaining things? That's crazy.
Phobia of explaining
That's,
things.
that's
I'm pretty sure that's real. So there's so
Is
many
it?
there's so
Probably.
many phobias about like the smallest things that could be the biggest things to other people. It's just uncommon. So I wanted to kind of talk about some of the most common phobias first. Actually, social phobias are one of the most common types of phobias. But I'm gonna just skip to arachnophobia. That's one of the most common phobias ever. That is fear of spiders. And
Yeah. I have a friend who would disagree. She loves spiders.
oh,
It's all she loves. She wants pet spiders and stuff.
Really?
It's
I wouldn't be able
It's
to
I've been thinking about the idea having just like tarantulas and stuff in your home. I have these tiny
Tarantulas,
things and I'm like,
yeah.
no thanks.
Yeah.
But you gotta respect what people like.
Yeah.
I don't have arachnophobia, right? But I do know. I'm not sure if she still does. Maybe she's better with it. I'm not actually sure. But my sister
at least when she was younger, definitely had arachnophobia because she went through some crazy, scary, up-close spider nonsense. In our house, we used to have a wolf spider problem. And a wolf spider.
What those are, but they sound scary.
Yeah, it's I guess think of a tarantula. Maybe they get bigger, and they're very hairy.
Oh.
So like they can
I
be
would
like.
say post a picture, but don't. So you can like draw a cute one.
I'll draw a cute one. Thanks for the extra work, Diane.
Extra work.
Maybe I'll draw a cute one, or
maybe draw a GIF, like a motion picture of it, walking.
Animate it, please. Like each leg has to move like at a different time.
What's the max FPS you can do?
I'm just
Can
gonna
you
leave.
increase the FPS?
That's why we
I
have
need to
these
start working on
podcasts
this
to
now.
make
Bye,
Rob's
guys.
life hard.
No.
Honestly, when you said wolf spider,
Yeah.
I imagined a wolf with many legs. That's what I saw.
That's what I'll draw.
In my brain.
I'll draw that.
I hope they're not that big though.
No, but
yeah,
they're
wolf problem. Yeah.
they can definitely be like the size of your hand. Like, that's a pretty big. That's a big thing.
Have you
to
seen
have,
my hand?
like,
I'm just kidding.
as big as my hand. Sorry, not your baby hand, Diane.
My hand doesn't count.
As like a normal human hand.
Nope.
The situation was that I remember I was in my room doing something, and sister came in kind of like freaking out, and she told me that there was a spider in her room. She woke up with a spider on her chest, on her bed. She was sleeping, she woke up, saw the back end of a spider on her chest. She somehow managed to sneak out from under the covers and get to my room without the spider moving at all. And when she told me this, she didn't explain that it was one of these wolf spiders. She just said spider. So I'm thinking like little guy. I'm thinking like a nickel or something, right? So I go into the room and see this spider that's the size of a normal sized hand, just like on her bed.
Normal size.
Yeah, normal size, average sized hand. And I'm looking at it and I'm going, oh my God. So
It's still there on the bed.
it didn't move. It's just still hanging out on the bed.
Wow.
And what I did is that I grabbed a thick book and I just chucked it across the room at the spider and killed it. Because I didn't want to get close to this thing.
Warning to our viewers: no spiders were harmed in the storytelling of the story,
Except for the spider I threw the book at. Sorry.
Except for that one.
That one died. That one's super dead. But,
no.
but
Sorry, Maggie, if you're listening.
it was self-defense, right? I mean, it was
It
self-defense. It was scary. It was
just chilling on the bed.
It invaded our space. Listen, if I went out to the woods and a spider bit me and killed me, then that's my fault, right? But it came into our home, so we're just defending our home, right? Wolf spiders can't actually.
You're claiming it's trespassed.
Yes.
According to U.S.
It broke
law.
and entered into our house.
Ah, okay.
Right.
I get it.
Right. And in America, it's very common to want to defend your home if someone break and enters. It's how we do.
Mhm.
Except I didn't have I had a book for a weapon. Anyway.
Yeah.
It died in one hit.
I threw the book really hard. Yeah, I
One
killed that
hit.
thing. It was a thick book too. It was like not like a dictionary or anything, but it was like the size of like a Harry Potter book. If that's any idea. It wasn't a Harry Potter book. It was something else.
Depends which book you threw, because some of them are good, some of them are not that good.
Sorry to all Harry Potter fans. So spider died, and then eventually our house was, taken care of, and the problem was removed. Wolf spiders are not poisonous, but they do bite. So having a big thing like that actually bite you is still extremely painful. And that didn't make me necessarily afraid of spiders, but I am uneasy around them for sure. And I know that my sister had a problem seeing or anything involving spiders. And it's funny that we actually brought up Harry Potter, because there is a scene in one of the movies where they're talking to like a giant spider. She couldn't watch that scene. She would always have to leave the room because she would know it's coming up, and she's just like, I know it's a movie, I know it's fake, I can't deal with it. It's a spider, I can't deal with it, right? So anything spider related, she just had to always look from. Otherwise she'd just kind of freeze up, right?
I just want to apologize because I googled wolf spider and I shouldn't have. So I want to apologize to everyone I offended by making a spider joke. It was big. It was scary.
It's kind of freaky, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I managed to actually kill 2 of those things in our house. That was just one occasion. Both with
So
books.
one too many
But yeah.
in the house. One too many in the house.
Yeah.
Okay, so
We
she
both did.
has arachnophobia,
For
right?
sure.
Your sister.
Yeah. Or at
For
least she
sure.
did, but she definitely had it when she was young.
I mean, to wake up with this big spider on your chest.
Yeah.
I think I would just like heart attack right there, just from like seeing that. Nope.
Right.
I'm going back to
Are you
sleep
arachnophobic?
permanently. Me? Actually, no, because I like cute spiders. I like the one with the big eyes, and there's like Joltik, the Pokemon, the yellow one. It's a really cute spider.
You don't like spiders. You like animated spiders, not real spiders, as well.
There are real spiders. Pet spiders are like $60 or something like that with big eyes, and they're furry. And they're like circle shapes. Circle shapes. So I have I'll mention this first phobia. Entomophobia. Don't know if I'm saying that right. That's fear of insects in general.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
Fear of
the name
insects in
for it.
general. Yeah, entomophobia. I do feel like an unnecessary amount of fear, anxiety, paranoia when I see a bug nearby. But it's kind of different when it's a spider. I mean, I'll still freak out maybe if it's a big enough spider or a scary looking enough spider, but if they're cute, then I'm okay with them, like how they're shaped. I don't know. I even let them get on me. That's how much I'm okay with like cute small spiders. They're like ugly and big and scary. I don't want to be near them, but I'm not.
Happening?
What is that?
Huh?
What is happening?
Am I talking
I hate all
nonsense?
spiders. No. Like for me, I'm just hearing. I hate all insects except the small, cute ones, which can climb on my hands. I'm like, all right.
That's it. Yeah, but if
Okay.
if a fly or a mosquito gets on me, I'll freak out. I think most people will, but okay, grasshoppers, June bugs, crickets, those things, especially things that look like grasshoppers that you know can jump really high and on you and in your mouth. Like that's.
Very specific.
When I was in, I think 1st or 2nd grade, I had like a grasshopper jump on my nose right here when I was young, and it was just so 3D, and it hurt because I don't know if you've ever like felt a grasshopper jump. What?
Just
They're
that you described it that
scratchy.
it was 3D. I'm like, yes, it's real, so it was 3D.
No, it was right here. You know,
Yeah.
it's right in between like
Yeah.
my eyes, so it's super. It's
Usually,
like 5D.
Diane sees everything in 2D.
It was pretty 5D. Okay.
It's pretty 5D, yeah.
Pretty 4D, pretty 5D. Yeah.
No, I get it. It was just
and-
super like up in your business.
Yeah, and I didn't want to touch it, right? So I tried to shake it off with my head just shaking like this, but it wouldn't come off, and I think I just freaked out, and maybe I kind of used my wrist to like knock it off, and oh, that scared me. I'm gonna go back to some common phobias. Like,
Mhm.
I think most people know claustrophobia,
Mhm.
all right?
Mhm.
Fear of, tight enclosed spaces. Do you guys ever feel claustrophobic sometimes? At all?
Oh, we did sleep in that capsule hotel, so I guess none of us are really claustrophobic.
I think if I was in one long enough, though, I think it would eventually get to me. But I think that would happen to most people.
Yeah. I think your brain just gets bored after a while too, so you start doing stupid stuff if you're like in an enclosed space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like for me, one thing I don't do is get on an elevator with a lot of people. Not because I'm claustrophobic of any kind, just because I hate smells. So usually when people tell me to like go, like, oh come, let's all go into the elevator, I'm like, nah, I'm claustrophobic. I'll use it as an excuse.
Oh.
Okay, yeah.
So just to not be like, no, the smells, but I don't have to explain everything. They're like, what smells? So instead of like explaining the whole thing, I'm just like, I'm claustrophobic.
It's-
Easy.
it's-
Sorry to all the real claustrophobic people. I'm just a faker at this point.
It's easier to say you're claustrophobic in that situation rather than like, I can't stand your BO, bro.
True.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. I think I have a little bit of claustrophobia. I'm just thinking about when. I think when I was a kid, one time I was at a cousin's house, maybe, I don't know who, but there's a bed that was like, not touching the wall, but like there was space in between the wall, and I fell. I think I slid down there, that crack, and it was this extremely tight spot, and I just hated it. But I didn't accidentally go in there. I purposely went in there, and I was like, no, I hate this. I don't know if that's like a part of it. And also now I don't like, booths, tables at the restaurant. I don't like to be in the inside. I don't know what that is with me, if it's just a preference, but I hate being in the inner booth. I try to avoid it when I can. I feel
Right.
stuck.
You
Yeah.
want
Super
the
stuck.
you want the aisle seat.
Maybe it's just me. Yeah.
I'm the same. Yeah.
I
Especially
do.
airplanes.
Airplane, I like window, but yeah, I hate feeling stuck too. But I like looking at the window. But I do hate feeling stuck. Maybe it's just me not liking, feeling stuck. I like my freedom.
I used to always want the window seat in airplanes, and then as I got older, I was just kind of like, or maybe just being in Japan changed that, and like Japanese airplanes because they're they're smaller, or they're more like curved up. Because now when I'm in a window seat, I feel like I don't always have like the headroom. Like I feel like sometimes
You're sitting
depending
like
on the
this?
plane- yeah, I might be like this or something.
I'm same. I agree with Rob 100%. I'm definitely an aisle guy. I don't like sitting at the window seat. When I was younger though, I used to like to put my head because
Yeah.
there's something to steady
Yeah, I like that a lot. Mhm.
But
Yeah.
the thing is, since I get like motion sickness very easily, the thing is vibrating. Like the whole plane is vibrating. So when I put my head on the wall, and I'm like shaking. I'm
Yeah.
like, no, all right. So I'm like what you call a plane walker. That sounds a lot cooler than what it is. I like to walk on the airplane.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Like-
then you can access the bathroom easier
Yeah.
without, bothering someone.
Yeah.
I don't want to bother
Karate chop
people.
people out of my way. No. I don't care if you're sleeping, you're crying. If I have to go pee, I have to go pee. Like, it's not my fault I'm stuck at the windows. Well, maybe it is if I chose it. But,
Yeah. Okay.
all right,
let's
hit us with some other common phobias.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, ophidiophobia. Ophidiophobia. Have you heard that?
Ophelia.
Ophidiophobia or ophidiophobia. Okay, well,
Okay.
it doesn't sound like what it is, but it's fear of snakes.
Oh.
Apparently, this one's really common, and obviously, I don't have it because I got 2 baby snakes over here. Yeah, ophidiophobia. You guys are okay with snakes, right? Well, Rob has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I'm-
have to be Rob.
I think I'm the same with snakes as I am with spiders, to be honest.
Oh, really?
well,
You don't think they're cute?
Well, snakes less so. No, they can be cute. I mean,
They're not cute.
your snakes have like derpy faces and stuff, so they're fine. But
Derpy
it's
faces.
more
Nice.
like I am less comfortable if the snake is free. If that makes sense.
Wild? Yeah, wild.
Yeah,
Loose.
yeah. But it's not like oh, I'm not gonna touch a snake, right? Like some people are afraid to even like go near a snake or feel a snake, right? Like I've held snakes, it's fine.
Or look at one.
Or look at
Mhm.
them. Yeah, I can see them. Like I mean, I can look at them. I can hold a snake.
can
it's
see
fine.
them?
I can
Oh my
see
God.
them. I see snakes sometimes.
What?
Yeah. So I see snakes. I've held snakes. I fed snakes. So it doesn't really bother me. But there was a time when your snake was free, Diane.
He escaped.
He escaped, and he was free in our apartment for 2 days. I did not like those 2 days. Those 2 days.
So sad.
I know you were sad, and I was like, "This thing's gonna eat me in my sleep."
I was
That's just what's
getting
gonna
into
happen.
depression because I really thought I lost him.
I'm surprised that we found him on top of your door frame 2 days later.
Door frame. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? How did you get up there? What?
It was.
Did you fly up there?
Right.
Weirdo. Okay, let's go through
Yeah.
a few more common phobias, okay?
Mhm.
Acrophobia is fear of heights, and that's super, super common. I am not sure if I have it, because I like to go up high things. I like roller coasters and stuff, but of course, I don't want to fall. But no one wants to fall, right? I
That
don't-
might just be like human survival. like in general.
Yeah.
Just if you're that up
Yeah.
high, and you might just be like, whoa, in general. I don't know if that's considered a.
Okay, I don't. Some people fear heights so badly, the escalators at local shopping centers give them like a headache
Right. Yeah.
Oh wow.
or dizziness. Well, you know, I guess I
Right.
like heights. I don't want to fall.
Like we were talking about how a phobia is an irrational fear. So
Mhm.
it's just like even like the idea of it. So I could think about being up in an airplane and and looking out the window and seeing everything and be perfectly fine with that, right? But there's someone who could just be thinking about that situation and they'd freak out, right?
Yeah,
So I think that's the
yeah.
difference. Right
That's
there.
one too. Fear of flying.
Oh
Apparently
yeah,
it's
that
called
would be different.
Pteromerhanophobia. What? Why is it called that?
Tarot.
That
I'm thinking
didn't
of
sound like
Terra.
English.
Terra's Earth.
Yeah, but
Terra Earth,
there's
yeah.
there's another one that says aerophobia, and that's also fear of flying. So maybe there's two fears of flying phobias. Interesting.
There could be multiple names
Two
for some
people.
phobias.
Yeah. Two people couldn't get along. They're like, no, this is the phobia, and then
Other one sounds like a pterodactyl.
pterodactyl phobia.
Okay, and then astrophobia is fear of thunder and lightning. It's kind of common, I guess.
I'm the opposite. I like
Me
it.
too.
I like the sound.
Yeah, I like to hear it if it's not like gonna strike me. But
Hmm
If it's
Well,
well,
no one wants
most
to be-
people, I think.
Well, I don't think people go out. I hope this lightning strikes me.
Yeah.
I
no,
don't
but
think that's very
Man.
common.
I don't want.
I'm gonna be so afraid of the sound if it hits me. That's gonna be
Yeah.
crazy.
No, but like you don't want to just be here out in the rain. Like, yes, I love the sound of thunder. And you get struck.
Well,
I want that to
Well,
happen.
yeah.
Like, I'm enjoying it, and I'm just not there anymore.
Yeah.
well, have you seen this video of a guy? He got struck by lightning. He stands up, walks like 2 feet, gets struck again.
Oh, wait, I think I've seen
I think I've
Is
seen
that
that or
real?
heard of it or something. Yeah, it's crazy.
I feel bad for the guy, but I'm just gonna remove human emotion and laugh because it looks really funny. It just looks really funny.
I mean, he lived, right?
Honestly, stands up. Well, I hope so. But well, he stands up, walks 2 feet, gets struck again, falls down again. The video cuts out. Maybe there's a longer version. If there's a longer version, please let me know. I would like to see him stand up again or get struck twice. That would be fun too.
We want the
Oh,
extended
If he
director's cut,
doesn't,
please.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I think I've seen it, but I wasn't sure if it was real.
I hope and I don't hope it's real. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Alrighty. Okay, so we're gonna move on to some weird/rare phobias.
Okay.
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 So this one, the first one is called Arachibutairophobia. Fear of peanut butter sticking to the roof of your mouth.
That's not true. That
It's
can't be
true.
anything.
Yeah, I actually see it on this
You-
list over here too. Yeah.
You
Yeah,
made that up.
it can
You guys
be.
got lists?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
guys
yeah.
got lists? Where's my list?
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
can't be
yeah.
a true
No.
phobia.
It's true, and similar consistencies of peanut butter. Apparently.
I love peanut
apparently.
butter.
Peanut butter is so good.
And it's possible that it can stem from a fear of choking. That's
Oh.
why.
Okay. Yeah.
Are
Okay.
you guys crunchy or are you guys, the smooth peanut butter eater?
100%.
I'm
crunchy.
usually crunchy.
Both are crunchy. Yeah, that's the only way to go.
Okay.
Well,
Good.
Yeah.
smooth is nice on
Yeah, when
wanna
you make
spread
some
it.
desserts, you're gonna need some smooth peanut
Yeah.
butter, of course.
Yeah.
But if I want it on sandwiches, it's gotta be on
S-
crunchy.
Smooth can be nice on like crackers, maybe, but I could also do crunchy on crackers too.
Yeah, right, Sam.
So
Mm-hmm.
I like.
All right, back to phobias. Who cares
Sorry.
about it?
Peanut
Beautiful-
butter.
Listen, in the comment section, please tell us: are you smooth gang or crunchy gang for peanut butter? We gotta know, and I promise.
Are we creating gangs on the internet, Rob?
You know. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Let's go smooth team.
Smooth
and,
team.
crunchy team. There we go.
Smooth team and crunchy team, sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay, there's a xanthophobia, which is fear of the color yellow.
Mm-hmm.
People with this rare phobia are usually also afraid of any object that is yellow, such as school buses and flowers. and they will avoid the color yellow at all costs. They may even find yellow foods to be distressing.
Just yellow, not blue
Yeah.
or green or another color.
No.
Just yellow.
I'm sure there are.
Just
but-
yellow. But maybe there are other phobias. They're just not listed here. There's optophobia, which is fear of opening one's eyes. Well, people with optophobia may prefer to stay indoors or in dimly lit areas. It's usually associated with a generalized anxiety disorder. Like many other rare
Okay.
phobias, this fear is usually the result of a traumatic incident.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, I
So
get
that's-
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hard for an individual to carry out daily activities without opening their eyes.
Well,
Oh man,
yeah.
I wouldn't want to have. I wouldn't need my eyes in. I wouldn't open them.
One phobia I could bring up that that can definitely be a case that that we have all possibly dealt with is xenophobia, which is the fear of
Oh.
strangers or foreigners. Because we live in Japan, like this isn't everybody, but there are some people who are not used to seeing foreigners, who get nervous
Yes.
around foreigners, who try to avoid foreigners.
Mhm.
For the most part, from our experience, or I could speak for myself, the Japanese people are very friendly and helpful, but on occasion you will get people who are nervous around you. They might look at you, not fully understand what's happening, and they'll probably try to maybe kind of walk away or stay a little further away. There are
Yeah.
also some places that don't always accept foreigners for business stuff, like restaurants and things. This isn't super common, but maybe in the deep country somewhere, it's a little more likely to happen than in a city, for example. It's not always because they're straight up afraid of you, but it might also be due to the language barrier and not
Yeah,
knowing how
okay.
to deal with a large group of foreigners that are approaching
Mhm.
and being like, I don't know how to please these people when I don't understand them, right? So they might turn you
Yeah.
away. There's
Yeah.
there's different levels. I personally have never run into anything anything violent, or any kind of
Mhm.
hate speech towards me while living here per se.
Mhm.
They wouldn't do that usually.
They wouldn't
Here.
they not
Yeah.
not as openly as other countries, America.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a thing, does exist,
Mhm.
but it's
Yeah,
I
they
just
get
want- yeah.
intimidated by the English. Not just not only look
Yeah.
sometimes, it's just the English. They're like, how do you
I
speak
do.
this?
Yeah, I do want to say myself, but just me, from my experiences, I've never been turned away from any restaurant or, public place at all. Never. It's never happened. But it has happened when I was about to sign a contract, and they said, "Oh no, since you're a foreigner, you can't sign this contract. It has to be a Japanese person who signs it." I wouldn't say this is xenophobia. This is more like.
Yeah.
it's
It's structured
security,
that way.
kind of
Yeah, so the thing is that Japan went through a weird wave of foreigners coming, doing really weird stuff, and just leaving back to their country and leaving the owners or whatever with all the issues.
Yeah.
Like people destroying apartments, or they get a service where they just destroy it and never give it back because they just leave back to the country. They're not really.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have that really difficult finding an apartment situation or getting services in general.
Yeah.
But when you do start speaking the language properly, you've lived there for a couple of years, they'll trust you. You'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you show your appreciation and I'm not, for lack of a better word, I wanted to say loyalty towards Japanese culture and just being respectful and stuff, then they can be a little.
Yeah.
There are some people that will just turn you away, when looking for apartments and stuff, for reasons.
Yeah.
But it's because of other people ruining it for everyone else.
Yeah, the fear of the foreigners ditching without paying anything and just going back to their own country,
Yeah.
right? They don't trust
Yeah.
foreigners because of that. So yeah.
That's why sometimes foreigners might have to pay 2-3 months in advance
Mm-hmm.
in their rent. They do that to Japanese people too. Don't get me wrong. It's not like just a foreigner thing, but a lot of like house tenants, I guess, or landlords, if you want to go that far, they're just afraid for their property, and that's how they do it. If you're a normal person going to Japan, you have nothing to worry about. You'll probably get an apartment. You'll get that money back. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
And when we say foreigners, I mean like all foreigners. It doesn't matter if you're from America, UK, Sweden, Philippines, Thai, like anything.
Even as close as Korea, you know, it
Yeah,
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It's
as long as you're not a Japanese passport holder, I guess. Whatever.
yeah, it's very much like the mentality for these kinds of people. There's Japanese and then there's everyone else, and they're all in a separate category. It's not individualized. It's like, if you're not Japanese, we're gonna treat you like this because of these reasons that other people have done. And like Elia said, it could even be towards some Japanese people too, because of maybe their history with other businesses and companies and other people who rent out apartments and things like that. So yeah, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah, and some people are afraid or worried, stressed out, and some aren't. And for the most part, especially with the like younger generation, I haven't run into any problems with them.
No.
So
No.
I want to go on to our phobias and some story experiences with it. So I already talked about one of my main phobias, entomophobia, which is fear of insects. It really affects my daily life, or just like my day in general. If there's a bug in my room, I'll have to get, Rob or someone to get it for me. And it's so bad where one time I needed to get gas. This was in Texas. I needed gas, and I parked next to my pump. But when I opened the door, there was like a big freaking grasshopper, and I was like, nope. Like, drove off to another gas station.
Oh. Wow. Excuse me, can you help me? I'm like, no, I'm please, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm just leaving.
And then one time I parked my car at my school, university, and cause I shouldn't have left the windows cracked, but it was really hot, so I wanted to air out a little bit. But this kind of grasshopper looking thing was like maybe on the floor in my car, and I needed to get going, but it was in my way and I didn't know what to do. I think I wanted to look for help, like anyone around me, but no one was around me. So I honestly forgot what happened. But I might have waited until it left and then I drove off.
Wow.
I know. Yeah. And
I
it's
remember something about you actually, Diane.
was it that big, remember me and Rob talked about that, this really big bug that was guarding my way to my home.
Exactly. I think we were about to have a meeting, a company
And I was
meeting.
lagging.
We were waiting for Diane because she was late, and she sent us a video.
I can't get in my house.
No, it's not that big. It was like
It
this
was
big,
huge.
It wasn't that big.
and
she's like, I can't get to the door. It's so big. I don't know what's happening. She's afraid of it.
It was like
Rob
this
has
big.
to come out. Rob has to go out of the door and get it.
It
out.
was guarding my way.
I hope we can find that video so we can put it up here. That would be fun.
When Rob was coming out to get it, I thought, I think he used a broom, and I was just like scared it would just fly into my mouth, even though it didn't have wings. Maybe.
What's
So
with you and bugs flying into your mouth? Is
That's
that
a
some
big
story?
fear. No. I mean, the
No?
closest was a
Okay.
grasshopper on my nose, but that's pretty close to my mouth, so same thing.
It's just the irrational fear going like, this is the worst possible situation that could happen. It's going to happen. Like,
Yeah.
whether or not it's actually going to happen or not.
Yeah.
So when Rob had to fulfill his duty with moving the bug, I was already
Fulfilled
thinking
his
all
nice
these.
duties.
I was thinking all these worst possible situations, so I actually hid in the elevator until he gave me the okay. It's safe.
This is my purpose.
It was like this big. It was the biggest I've ever seen in my life, I think.
Insects in
person.
Japan do get pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
They do have that murder hornet or whatever it's called, right?
The green hornet.
Green
That's a
Hornet,
superhero.
Isn't that is that a villain? Is it?
Oh.
I don't know. I don't think
That's a
Green
fictional
Hornet
character.
Is a real thing.
I don't know. That's how it popped up.
It might be.
in
I mean,
my head.
there's things like green flies and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. There might be something called it. There might be a green one.
Let me Google.
It has to be the
Yeah.
not green hornet.
Asian giant hornet.
Oh, it's not green?
It's a
Oh, okay.
Japanese giant hornet. I'm gonna search for green hornet.
Don't say it's a
And
movie.
It's Green Hornet is an American.
Yeah.
It's a masked hero. Yep.
Yeah, it's
no, it's not.
and it's a
It's a
masked hero, and he has
fictional
he has an assistant, a sidekick called like Tato or Tato, and he's like the guy who's actually doing
God.
all the
Tato.
work. It's like a comedy thing. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the Green
Okay.
Hornet is just like posing as a superhero, like he thinks he is, but he's just kind of he's like kind of like the face, but then his like super crazy martial art sidekick is actually doing the real work.
I see.
Like
Oh, his friend is Kato.
Kato. I
The
said
side-
Tato. I'm thinking of like
Tato.
I'm thinking of like
Potato. I thought a potato was a potato.
Please show the picture of the Green Hornet here and
Oh no.
Potato here. Thank you, Rob.
this is Potato. This is Kato. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, moving on to my other high up there phobias, which I normally just think of me having two phobias whenever I'm asked, do you have any phobias? So the bug one, and then also starts with an E, emetophobia. And I've talked about this before with you guys. Is fear of like puke, vomit, throw up, the sound of it, the look of it, whatever, maybe even doing it.
The British people call it sick.
Sick.
There you go. That's some English trivia for you.
And then I don't like to do it myself, so I've held a record of like 10 or more years of never throwing up, even though like I've had times of feeling
Wow.
super sick. Yeah, there's a pressure point you can do, acupuncture, whatever, you can do that to help you feel less nauseous. And then I do this thing where I just poke the inside of my neck like this. It helped me for some reason. I don't know if it's just me, but if I'm feeling like really, I have heartburn and acid reflux and stuff like that, sometimes I feel like, strong up there, I will do this and it helps. And then, but it gets red
Diane
after.
is a robot. That's what we're learning, and she's pressing
It's a-
buttons to reset. I think that's what we're learning. I think this button on her arm and I think it's just made up.
It's a
She's
pressure
just trying to
point.
make stuff
It's a
up.
pressure
She's like,
point.
I press this button. I mean acupuncture thing, and then yeah.
Yeah. So, and then being in Japan and not driving so much as I would in Texas, we use the trains here a lot in Tokyo, and not just the weekends, but usually at night, you're bound to see just puke on the ground. Sometimes on the train. Rarely on the train, but when it happens, it's just so gross because you're in an enclosed environment and it can smell, and the train moves, so it drags. It is so gross.
Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. I guess so.
I did get thrown up on the train once, and it wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible, but it happened. It touched me. It's not like he threw up on my feet, but it accidentally came out. Of course, he didn't plan it, and then it hit the ground, and then it just splashed, and then it hit my ankles, and I was like, what? And the train was not spacious, it was almost crowded, not super crowded, but enough where like I had to bump into people to move out of the way. Okay.
Yep.
Anyway, so those are my two top phobias, or whatever you call it. You guys have any phobias? Starting with Elia.
Well, I'm not really afraid of anything. I don't know. I don't have a lot of phobias. I'm like a little afraid of spiders, but since I moved to this new house, I I've seen a lot of spiders, and so I've gotten used to it more and more. I used to be, when I saw a spider, I used to pew pew, used to beat it really fast just to get rid of it. But I'm trying to be more considerate now, and save the spiders. I don't know if they're extinct. They're probably not in any way, but I'm still doing my job. I'm trying to save them, make them leave. The one time there were three spiders, really big spiders, went out like next to my downstairs door to go outside, and they were looking at me like they knew it was a battle. Unfortunately, I couldn't save all three. Freddy passed in this battle. Yeah, I tried to save him, but he tried to run away from me, and he had to go. Unfortunately, I saved the other two. I did save the other two, so I'm getting better. But no, I think this is a better question for Rob.
So Rob, do you have any phobias?
I do. Now, I wasn't actually diagnosed with this. I never went to a doctor to really talk about it. But I feel like if you know you have a fear, you know, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how many
Yeah,
people
of course.
actually go to be like, am I afraid of trees? Like, like it's, which is a phobia, but like it's a phobia. I don't know what it's called, but it's like, I don't know when you make that decision to actually like go see a doctor of some kind to be like, hey, am I actually afraid of this, even though I am?
I never did.
You know what I mean? I believe I have I don't, it's hard to say how strong it is, but I definitely have hemophobia, which is the fear of blood. And this is because of an experience that I had where I was young. I don't remember how old I was, but definitely probably under the age of 10. And
Approximately 200 years ago.
Yeah, so probably 200 something years ago, give or take.
Yeah.
And we used to go to these golf courses in the wintertime just to get on the property and use them to sled down. Have fun, great place to play as a kid, right? So I remember my mom took me to this golf course, and there's other children there. They're sledding down the hill, and the idea is that you slide down the hill on your sled or tube or whatever you have, snowboard, anything, and then the idea is to walk up the side of the hill and not block the path in the middle because of all the other people down. Well, when it was my turn to go down, the kid who went down before me decided that it was a great idea to walk straight across the middle of where everyone is sledding down, and I'm going to be the first person that collides with this kid. And they were pulling their sled with a twine, this thin rope, right? And I happened to slide between the kid and his sled, getting clotheslined by the rope. So it struck me in the face, and I blacked out for a couple seconds. I guess my vision went dark. I woke up to see a bunch of people standing over me and a woman putting snow on my face. At the time, I didn't know what was happening. I thought I was being attacked, but it was to stop the swelling because I had a bloody nose, right? My mom wrapped me up in her, at the time, white winter coat, very puffy jacket, and drove me to the hospital. And by the time we got to the hospital, this really nice white puffy winter coat was red. All of it.
A lot of blood.
I bled a lot. I was wrapped in it. It freaked me out. And from that moment on, I kind of freeze up a little bit. I get nervous. I can feel like my heart start going faster, and depending on how much it is or anything like that, I kind of, like we were saying before, some people have trouble just doing daily normal activities. To an extent, it's weird. It bothers me with some things more than others. I can play a game where there's violence involved and it doesn't bother me as much. Maybe it's because I'm more in control of something. But when it comes to like watching some kind of movie where there's a lot of violence, where there could be blood spraying or some kind of gore like in a horror movie, I can't take it. I know it's fake, but I can't do it. And then of course there's real life situations. You know, I've had bloody noses since then. I've like bit my lip before. I've seen blood, and I can kind of deal with it a little. Like I can deal with it, but it does kind of hinder me slightly, to some extent. I'll move maybe a little more rapidly, or maybe a little more slower. Or I'll freeze up for a minute before I'm like, work, do something. Okay, here we go, and then I start going again. Right, so it hits me in various little ways when I see blood outside of the body. Yeah. So that's mine.
If you watch like those doctor shows, you know, where they're operating
Won't do
on
it.
people. No, that's impossible.
Impossible. Won't do it.
Even Attack on Titan, right? You couldn't really watch that.
I did watch Attack on Titan, but there were moments where I definitely had to go like this. Like I had to like look through my fingers at some scenes. Yeah.
I think you've told me this before because we were watching a movie at my old apartment. Remember we were sitting on my super comfortable.
This is how you found out.
That was
and
super
we
comfortable.
What were we watching?
Fast and Furious.
We were watching Fast and Furious. That's the thing. We were having a marathon because Diane loves it.
Yeah.
So I think
the
we
guy.
were a couple. Yeah,
You guys arm stuck on the truck.
Yeah.
That was pretty bloody, actually.
Yeah,
And I remember Rob just like cringing and looking away, and I was like,
Yeah, it's not even that bad compared to like other stuff that's been made. But yeah, there's a scene where someone's hanging off of the side of the truck by his arm, and to stay on the truck, there's this cord wrapped around his arm, and because it's so tight, there's some blood on his arm, and of course there's been a lot more stuff that's worse in action movies. But this was kind of like my limit, where I'm like, nope, don't like it, I can't, no, don't, please go to the next scene. Let's go. Let's start talking. Let's start talking about family again, please. Yeah, you know.
I think it was the very first one. Very first one.
Was that? Yeah, I remember. Yeah, it was a good time because we were all watching a movie together, but not so good time for Rob. But that maybe second or two.
It was generally fun, and then that moment scared me.
Yeah, all good.
So if you guys are ever playing a game that has a lot of blood, don't show Rob, or a movie.
Well, a game might be okay for some reason. I've played Gears of War. That's a very violent game. I don't know why I can play that, but I think it's because I'm in control, right? I think there's something to do with that. But I'm in control of like real life stuff too, and blood will still freak me out. So I don't know. I think I don't know what separates it.
Yeah. I'm not like scared of blood, but I feel like if I do see a bunch of blood in person somewhere on the floor, I might, of course, panic, knowing that something is wrong. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
If I lost a lot of blood, of course I'll panic, like, oh, you know.
Well, yeah, you're losing.
I might need this blood. You know?
Losing blood.
For me, blood is associated with pain. And like, you know, no one likes pain.
Usually, right?
Usually, yeah.
Yeah. There are some. What was it? There's a condition where people don't. It's super, super rare, but people don't feel pain at all. And I feel like that could be a good thing, but a bad thing.
Oh yeah.
That's a very bad thing.
Yeah, if you're bleeding, you won't know. Open wound, you won't know until you see all that blood.
I have
pain is a response, like your body's telling you that something is wrong. Of course, sometimes you want to like switch it off because you're like, I don't want the pain.
Gentle pain. Oh, I hate that. That's the most.
That's the worst kind of pain.
Yes, I'll turn
like
that off.
Worst
teeth
kind of
and
pain.
like hands and stuff. Like it's like
No,
like damaging teeth or like damaging hands or.
You know what I just thought of? I do have something I'm afraid of.
Is it a joke?
Needles.
Oh, okay,
No,
needles.
it's not a joke.
Okay.
Needles. I'm not
that's real,
super afraid, but I remember, okay, so this is a thing in Japan. So in Japan, our company, when we were all teachers, used to send us for these health checkups, like once or twice a year. Do you guys remember when we went to do the health checkup thing? With everyone, we were just sitting in that lobby for like 5 hours. Yeah, and then apparently I had to get some like blood tests, whatever, done. So they would like, stick me with a needle to get some blood. And I've always remembered since I was young, I can never look at the needle. I always have to look away when they do it. And
Yeah.
for some reason, I was like, I'll look. I'm an adult, you know. I'll just look. I kind of felt lightheaded. I was like, wow, you know.
Mhm.
And being a big guy, I can't really say I'm afraid of a tiny needle, so I never mention it. So you guys never heard this story. And
Oh,
guys on the
yeah,
internet,
okay.
delete it, cut it out. Yeah. Anyways, needles, no problem for me. Easy, easy.
I'm gonna
Um,
repeat the last section like 5 times and like bass boost it. No, look at it.
Yeah. No, but
No.
honestly, I just think it's weird having something like foreign enter your body.
Yeah.
Right?
Like that way? Ugh, I don't like
Yeah,
it
like
either.
just puncturing your skin.
Yeah.
And then you see blood getting extracted. I don't mind the blood thing. Okay. That's Rob's thing. I won't steal it from you, Rob. That's fine. But what I
I'm not trying
don't
to claim
like,
it.
it's yours, Rob. It's yours. Just leave it, okay? Can someone look it up? What's the fear of getting punctured by needles? That's what I don't
There's
like.
fear of needles is trypanophobia.
Trypanophobia, which is what Diane said, would actually be the thing that would technically be your phobia, because it's not just needles, but it's involving injections and other medical procedures that involve puncturing, which is usually with
Mhm.
needles, right? So it's like associated
Yeah.
with it, but it's more so the procedure of like entering.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Also, if there's a doctor out there, is there a reason why they always want to, give you injections and stuff in the left arm? Is there like a thing that goes around?
Well, I
Oh,
think it used to
thought
be
was a
the
choice.
it used to be the butt, and then they changed it to the
butt,
arm
okay.
because people need to sit.
I need to sit.
Yeah.
So it's like
I need my arm too.
it's like they need like a muscly or like a fatty area where there's just like, so it'll be sore, but if they took it from a place that wasn't as protected, then that might lead to some complications, I think.
Some people got the vaccine. I was one of them, right?
Mhm.
And when your arm was like limp, almost like not limp, but it was
I
really
was
like
weak.
it was sore.
I couldn't move
right?
it. I couldn't
Yeah.
flex it.
My first one, it
like,
was
for me,
super weak.
I had like zero, whatever, like adverse effects or whatever. I had nothing. The only thing I had was like my arm felt numb. And if they did that to my butt, that would be weird.
Yeah,
Can you feel like your butt would be numb for like a couple days?
it'd be weird.
That would be, yeah.
Yeah.
How you doing, man? Can't feel my butt. Okay.
Feel the butt. Yeah.
So now I want to move on to fear. And I have a couple questions here for you guys. I can share my stories first as you guys think of your own experiences. First question: what were you afraid of as a child, but not as an adult? So, with my example, I thought of talking to strangers. I know
Wow.
it sounds bad,
Wow.
but
Yeah.
it's true. It is super true. Like now I'm just comfortable. Not like I want to or need to sometimes, but when I feel like I should, then I will, especially in Texas. Sometimes it's necessary. Sometimes you want to compliment someone because they look so good. You want to be like, hey, you're so pretty. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Not like any crazy things. Yeah.
That compliment would actually be weird in Japan. I think people don't like take compliments that often. So I think
Mhm.
don't say that to people in Japan. I think that's the best way to put it. People take offense. They're like, are you joking?
Yeah. How about you guys, Rob?
For me, I don't know if I'm sure there's something and I just can't think of it at the moment, but I know that when I was younger, I didn't like to get dirty. I wasn't like a super germaphobe or anything like that, but many kids like to
Mhm.
play outside, they like to get in the mud, they like to make a mess, get dirty, go out into the woods and stuff. And when I was really young, I hated like working with my hands and doing stuff like that. But as I got older, I kind of just like pushed through those moments where I was going to get physically dirty, stuff, and now I'm fine. I know, like,
now you're super dirty all the time.
now I'm super
All the
dirty.
time.
Now I'm just covered in
All the
mud
time.
all the time. Yeah, I think I was just very uncomfortable and uneasy with like getting my hands dirty and being in gross situations. And then that quickly changed due to several professions I've had where, you know, I've mentioned this before, I think. My
Yeah, you
family
did.
owns a plumbing company. So, like, you get involved in some gross situations sometimes. So now stuff like that doesn't faze me as easy as it used to.
Yeah. That's good. That's a good thing.
Yeah, I can just imagine your dad when you were younger. Like he's working hard, you know, the plumber guy.
Oh, he
and you're
hated
like,
it.
oh, I got mud on my hand. He's like,
Little boy.
Yeah,
he's like, is there like a return policy on this game? or
Right,
something?"
right.
Policy.
Oh,
well, I'm
no.
pretty sure he was just like, you know, like I'll just make another one. I mean,
Possible.
The better
listen, if
version.
anything happens to you, no one's gonna know, and I'll just make another one. It's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Anyway,
fine.
my dad was very caring and loves me. Just want to throw that out
Yeah.
there. Hello, parents. Anyway,
He has to say that for legal reasons.
shut up,
Yeah.
Elia.
It's fine.
Shut your mouth. Smile. No, I'm kidding.
Smile and wave.
Smile and
All right,
wave.
I don't. As I said, I'm boring with fears.
No, it's okay.
I don't have a lot of fears in that sense. When I was younger, I was afraid of the dark. Well, not the dark per se. It was, you know, when you turn off the light, you have to run out because there's something there.
Yeah, there's something
That
that's there.
persisted for a couple of years. I definitely don't do that anymore. So
That's good.
yeah.
Yep.
And then my next question is just a vice versa of that. What are you afraid of now but weren't back then? And my example is, so it's bug related. You know roly
Of
polies?
course.
Mhm.
Oh,
Roly
they're so cute.
polies. Yeah. When I was young, I enjoyed picking them up with my bare hands and then having them closed and then just flicking them. I might have killed some of them by flicking them really hard with my nail. Might have. I'm not really sure, but probably. Yeah, but now I can't like get near like any type of bug besides cute spiders. But that's not a bug.
It's an arachnid. Totally different.
Yeah, that's not a bug.
Yeah.
So
How about scorpions?
scorpions, I'm not sure. I have to.
Guess you would need to
Experience.
encounter a scorpion.
Yeah, I might panic a little because
Okay.
those are kind of dangerous, right?
Like, yeah.
Well, I don't know. The pointy tail might be an indication of danger.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just saying. Yeah.
Just poison you, it's fine.
Okay.
When people drink scorpion blood, isn't that a thing?
Maybe.
Or is that snake blood? I've had snake blood,
Probably
but
both.
I've never had scorpion blood. Or maybe that's just a movie thing. I don't know.
Oh.
Mm.
For me, let's see. Afraid of now that I wasn't back then. I mean, this is very general, and I don't know if I wouldn't even consider it a phobia, but maybe just like a constant worry in the back of my head. When you're young, for the most part, I feel like most children are carefree. Don't really think about consequences and like their actions and stuff and what things lead to. But
Mhm.
for me, I have a constant worry about like and failure. So it's not so much like legacy where it's like, oh, I need to have a family and pass on my genes. It's more of like, what am I going to bring to this world that's going to make a difference and not just be another person who lives, passes away, and is forgotten, right? So
Mhm.
when I was younger, couldn't care less. But now that, you know, I'm an adult and I'm trying to make a difference, there is that little fear of like, am I doing enough? Am I working fast enough? You know, and things like that. So it's just this constant like pressure in the back of your head where it's like, you know, must go faster, do something, right? So I think that's some kind of, it's at least a pressure of some kind, right?
Yeah.
Which can be
normal.
scary sometimes.
Yeah, I can feel that too, for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's a very
No, I
relatable
get
thing.
that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think most people, I think we live in a society where, society pushes standards on you, like how you have to be and what you have to achieve by what age, especially Instagram. I've seen this recently. Do these things so you don't regret your 30s or your 20s or whatever. And I'm like, that will never work. Like me being in my 30s, I've seen my 20s. It doesn't matter how much I prepared for it. Stuff is just
Mhm.
gonna happen.
So there's stuff
Um,
like that I avoid because of that anxiety, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
like I'll
it,
see
it
like
makes you think of stuff.
right, I'm like I
Yeah,
don't want to talk about this right now. No,
I never
Yeah.
came across those. Mhm.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
yeah.
No, I just sometimes it pops up, for some random reason. But
yeah, on occasion.
Mm.
I don't know. I just think like people, please, if you're on Instagram or if you're young and you're listening to this, there's nothing you can do to change what's happened, and there's nothing you can do to change what's gonna happen. What you can do is work towards a goal that you think is best for you. We all make mistakes, and it's very normal. So don't take those mistakes as failures. I think one of the normal phobias is like like fear of mistakes or whatever. Um, but there's no need. Like I know it's easier said than done, but failures happen. We learn from them. We take them. We make something better, right? Just as anything in life. When you were a baby, how many times did you have to stand up and fall before you could actually walk? So
I don't remember
it's
that.
yeah, me neither. But having a kid now, I can see it live, and I'm
Oh
like,
yeah, true.
it's a lot of work and dedication, which we don't really think about. But he's stood up and fell down a lot of times, and he still does it because he wants to reach that goal, right?
So we're gonna have to end it there. Thank you everyone for watching, listening, whatever. Don't forget to follow our socials. We have a bunch. Can probably find them down there.
You'll find them in the description of the video
Yep.
Everything.
and at the end of the
Yep.
video and all that stuff, and you should click them.
Yes, and don't forget to go to our Instagram too. You'll see updates. You'll see funny shorts that Diane makes. You'll see some
Featuring
familiar
people like
faces.
Rob. Yeah, familiar
Yeah,
faces.
you'll see some familiar faces like Mr. Rob. Not me, because I'm in another country, and you'll probably never see me there. I'm too shy for camera, guys.
Oh my god.
Just wait till
yeah.
you're here. I'm gonna pin you down. Force record. Hey,
Yeah.
speak.
Say this word.
Yeah. Say English stuff.
The English stuff. Yeah, so please check that out. Share our socials with your friends. Give us a like, subscribe.
Put it this
do
way:
it.
if you don't have a phobia of clicking links and buttons, you should definitely do all the things that Diane and Elia just said.
Yep.
There's no reason not
Okay.
Control
to.
the system. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so please subscribe. It helps us out. And if you liked it, please send us your questions. You can write them down here or send them
Yeah.
on
Comment if you have
Instagram.
any questions,
Yep.
concerns, whatever. Any possible future topics you want us to talk about. Anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And yeah, thank you for watching.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
See you
Bye-bye.
later.